Hey everybody, it's me, your favorite YouTube personality, JuiceMan3941. This is episode 13, and this is also entitled The Great April Update Debate. And of course I'm playing Destiny, because that's what we're talking about, is the Great Update Debate here that's coming out in April. That's right, April. Before I begin, I'd like to thank my 3 wonderful human being of subscribers that are actually subscribed to my channel and been watching it with views and I guess faithfully, and I hope I've been doing this entertaining enough for you and maybe a little bit informative. There's been some talk about Destiny here of late with its update debate, so to speak, in April. April, I think 12th is when it rolls out, and this is probably the biggest thing they put out since the Taken King. But here's the thing, though. What I've gathered so far, they're going to improve some of the old strikes. So you may be fighting the Taken during some of them, and not, especially during the Archon pre-strike, and some of the older ones are getting a little bit of a makeover. They also are increasing the light levels in the game, or not the levels, but the light rating. I think it's going to 335. There's going to be other ways to get some of that really high-ranking gear outside of just doing the King's Fall raid. I think that's good. That's a very good thing. And so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that. There's also a new strike where you fight kind of a Taken boss, and you're going to also see some new weapons and armor that are going to be added to the game. Again, I feel like it's just going to be a variation on the theme with just a different look. Hopefully it won't be, but knowing Bungie, it probably will be. And another thing that I'm seeing when it comes to this update as well, and I'm not kind of looking forward to it, but I kind of am. They are updating New Monarchy, Dead Orbit, and they're updating Future War Cult and possibly the Vanguard. I don't know about the Vanguard, but they are updating their weapons and armor, so there's going to be new weapons and armor for them that will probably reflect the new higher light. Instead of probably being at 280 when you buy them, they might be at 300 to begin with. It could be 290. I'm interested in seeing what those new weapons and armors are going to look like, so I think it's going to be really cool to see all that, and I'm hoping that they this update will help alleviate some of the content issues that people have been screaming and hollering about now for a while when it comes to Destiny and the lack of content that's been happening in the game. Now, having said all that, the debate to me is, is this going to be the final big update before they begin working on 2. Now, it is a well-known fact that Bungie is not going to be working on Destiny 2. People are like, oh my god, JuiceMan, are you kidding me? You're lying, right? Bungie's doing it, right? No, they're probably supervising it, and they're allowing High Moon Studios to do it. And High Moon Studios, being the way it is, they also worked on, High Moon Studios is known for work on Transformers, War of Cybertron, and Fall of Cybertron. They did those 2 games. I believe they also did Dark of the Moon on the Xbox 360 and PS3, and I think they did do the Rise of the Dark Spark. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But that's what I am seeing when it comes to to what they're doing. I find it odd that Bungie, who had created Destiny, who had never made an MMO before, and made a lot of mistakes along the way when they made this game, but more importantly, is it's interesting to note that they also are going to give it to another studio that, again, has never done. They've done multiplayer, but they have not really done an MMO either. So I'm really curious to see what High Moon's going to either add or change. Maybe they won't change much, and they're just making it because Bungie wants to work on other games that they have never announced that they're working on. So I don't know why they don't just make Destiny 2 or start working on it now. I don't know. The April update debate, though, is kind of as follows. It's kind of like, okay, so if this is going to be the April update, and I'm curious, again, to what is going to be all added outside of what I already know. But the problem that I think that we're going to have with this update is the fact that even though they're putting new weapons and increasing like the light, not the light level, but the light power ranking number or whatever you want to call it, I think one of the problems is after you do that one new strike, and after they do these other, minor updates to the different strikes that are already available, and some of the new weapons and armor, and possibly some new Crucible maps. And again, I've already talked about Crucible. I don't think it's still, people are going to be able to do all that stuff within a week or two. And they're going to be right back to square one where they're like, okay, well, we're really not, okay, we're kind of done with that content, moving on. Bungie really needs to not, this is supposed to be, according to them, a 10-year plan of a game. The game came out, a while back, some time ago, and we're at a point now, it's 2016, and, I'm surprised that Destiny has not already put out its sequel. It should have by now. And it just goes to show you that this 10-year plan, I doubt that it will ever come to fruition. I really believe that Destiny will get up to the third series in the game, and I bet you that's about where it ends. There's too much new and exciting games coming out that are going to draw a lot of players away from this. Division was a nice distraction, and I think there are some players that it drew away from this game. And I also feel like No Man's Sky, this awesome procedurally generated game that's coming out, procedurally generated universe, where I feel that people are going to play, and they're going to be, they're going to play the game, and it's one of those games you can pretty much, because of the size of the universe, you can pretty much play indefinitely. You'll never be able to visit everywhere. It's just not going to happen. And it's too big. You're talking about 64 quintillion planets. You won't even be able to do it in an actual lifetime of real-time playing. That's crazy when you stop and think about it, and absolutely just mind-boggling. So I'm really looking forward to playing it. And I can't get a beat on these dregs. But anyway, I think that Destiny has got a very large and uphill battle. I think it's really sad that the RNG system was not set up more like a Borderlands or a Diablo, where it randomly generates actual loot. And instead of being where, hey, there's X number of hand cannons already built into the game, blue and greens and yellows and and whatnot. There's X number of armors. There's X number. You might get them. It's a random number generator, a pre-generated loot. It's not real random loot generator where it mixes and matches colors and styles of weapons and different attributes. That's not what happens in this game. And they really should have done that to keep it fresh and exciting, and they don't. Most people who play Destiny have found found something that works for them, and weapons and armor wise, and that's that. That's exactly what they've found. That's what happens, and I think it's a shame because you get to a certain point in this game, and why would you use anything else other than the gear that's really, really good for you? And I think that's one of the things that this game is lacking in many ways, is that real random loot system like a Borderlands has, or a Diablo 3 loot generated system, or even 2 Human, which I continued to play that game and would still find stuff that I have never seen before. And that's one of the things that always surprised me about those. I love those random systems. They really work. They really feel like you just get a lot out of it. Now, having said all that, this April update, I just don't feel is going to bring enough to the table at all. I just don't see them. I just don't see it. I think it's great that they are adding some content. I look forward to playing the strike. I look forward to seeing uh, Prison Elders being updated, where I can get some really good loot out of it. Finally, get my character to light level 300, because right now I can't, because I can't because I don't know enough people to do the raid, and playing with randoms is a pain in my frickin' ass when it comes to this stuff, and it's just one of those things. I wish that it was a little bit more intuitive on the systems of trying to find people to play with, but it's just not the case. I've just grown to accept that, and I've slowly but surely have been creeping my way in the 290s and up, but I know I can never get to that point until, until I can get this better gear. And again, I'm happy that I am going to have the opportunity to do some of these other things to get better gear, maybe even use the 3 coins from Zur on these new strikes, and again get that better gear to give me that push that I need to get to 300, which has been my goal, even though they're going to increase that light level. And again, I think though that this April update, honestly, I still feel like it's not going to be enough. People are going to burn through it really fast, and the people who do that are going to be, again, going back to like, where's the content? What is going on? Destiny, to be perfectly frank with you, should have always, at the beginning of the game, like every month, put out new weapons, new gear, new armor to keep it interesting. They could have done that every month, since their RNG system is not like a real random loot system. They could have done that. They could have done that. I think it's interesting that you're going to find these weapons and armor called Chroma, which allows you to put one of 5 different colors. That's coming with the update: red, blue, yellow. But that's, again, because that's their way of saying, okay, we need to do this customization. But again, instead of just, I don't know, instead of really giving us real and true customization of color schemes and different things, they could have just given us stuff that are like little runes, that color the stuff out with multiple different colors. Instead, we're going to get, oh, well, they're blue, red, yellow, green, purple, silver. I mean, we're not even going to get anything but 5 colors. Again, you're going to see people running around, and I mean, it's great that we have the armor shaders. I think it's great that they're going to give us these new type of pieces of gear called Chroma, which is going to allow us to color our weapons and armor, but they still are limiting those options to only a few colors. It's just like, really, you're not even allowing, you're not even giving me, you're not really giving me what I think belongs in the game. You're giving me 4 or 5 colors, and that's all you're giving me. Like, really? That's it? And it's got to be specific gear that says Chroma on it. Like, why didn't you just come up with something I can just, like, you can buy from a vendor and you can just color it like any piece of gear? No, you had to do it your way. Again, Bungie forcing their way down our throats. Hey, you have to play the game how we want you to play it, and not give us that freedom of choice that you find in other MMOs. Like in Elder Scrolls Online, going to a dye station, there's hundreds of colors to choose from. Your character is your character. It's unique to that world. Destiny, again, does not do that, and I don't think this part of the April update, part of the great update debate, is really going to offer that much more to keep players vested over the next 3 months, 6 months, up until Christmas. Because this year there is a lot of good coming out. So you better, there is a lot of good coming out. So I think if you're a gamer, you got a lot of choices, and there's going to be a lot coming out that make Destiny be like, I'm kind of done with that game for a while. I have a friend of mine that I play with, Bellix420. He's a good friend of mine, and to give a shout out to you, buddy, I know you're playing Division right now, but I tell you what, he hung this game up because he was like, you know what, I'm kind of done with it. I don't really want to do it no more. He got kind of burnt out by it because he felt like there wasn't enough content. They made things a little too hard, as far as when you're trying to get his. He was trying to get his exotic sword, and the way you got to go about doing it is like damn near impossible. It's very very difficult, and I think that's a problem. I wish it wasn't like that, and I kind of sucks that he don't play anymore. I mean, me and him in the fire team work really well together. He's the one that got me to buy this game, got me into massively multiplayer online games such as this, and it kind of sucks that we don't, we're that he's, we're not that he doesn't play this anymore, and that's really how I feel about it. I think it's sad, and I wish he would come back, but he's just like, no, I'm done. They're not doing enough in the game to hold my interest, and I think other people probably feel the same way. I would almost suspect other people are dropping out, doing the same thing. I bet you that's kind of how I feel about it. It would not surprise me if that's not what's happening. And I hope that he comes back at some point, but he may not. And if he doesn't, more power to him. If he does, great. And you know, I hope that when if he does decide to come back, that he does it, and people that he will enjoy the game. But I don't think again the April thing is going to really change anything. He even told me that. He said I just don't see that happening. And I don't, I don't see it that April as update, having any kind of long term when it comes to, like I said, 3 months, 6 months down the road. I don't see people. I don't see people. Uh, you know, that's not going to be something that has people like, oh, I'm going to keep playing Destiny for the next 6 months. It's just not. There's not enough there to do it. At the same time, people who spent their hours and days of playing, like I have, ranking New Monarchy up to 27th and being a New Monarchy only character, and even foregoing the use of exotics until recently just to keep all New Monarchy stuff. That's kind of where I'm like, well, I kind of want. I wish. I'm going to have to rebuy new weapons and armor, and that's a lot of legendary marks, so I will have to put time in regardless of. It's just the way it is. But it's one of those things where I hope that it's not going to be like I did before, where I got to, go back through and do this game day in and day out. And, I don't find it, terrible because it's a fun game to play. But at the same time, I don't want to sit here and have to get all new weapons and armor and go back through this whole thing again, because it took me a long time to do all. I mean, I didn't even get a ship from them until rank 26, which I think is ridiculous. They should let you buy those ships, in my personal opinion, but they don't. You have to earn them, and the rarity of them is ridiculous. Again, Bungie, padding the length of their game. The great April update debate is happening about Destiny on episode 13. I am the Juice Man 3941. How you doing, YouTube community? If you're just joining in, let me tell you, I am very happy, to be showing you this gameplay video, and I'm very happy to be talking about this update debate. And let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. I mean, do you really think the debate, the update is really going to bring a longevity, or are people going to burn through the stuff quickly? And that's probably what's going to happen. They're not. This is not something that's going to be lasting like the Taken King. The Taken King people played for a few months and then they were kind of done. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily bad, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, we're done with this, and now we got this April stuff coming out. Hey, we're going to get these new shaders that lets us actually really paint our stuff up. And that's great, but they got its specific armors, and it's only like 5 colors. Again, that kind of sucks, and in that way. But it is what it is. At least it's something, but it's not exactly what I think we were expecting. And I think that the April update is a good thing to add these things to Destiny, but it's not really a longevity. I bet you people burn through the stuff in 2 weeks or less, and then they'll go right back to being like, hey, we need some more stuff. And I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised that Bungie are not doing more to include more, to add new weapons and armor like every other month, to add, create some new strikes, not just one strike, but legitimately like create some new stuff, for us to deal with, and they just don't. I would love to see more of what makes the Destiny, and we're just not getting it. And I think at some point, I just don't see this update really making that big of a hill of beans, in my personal opinion. I just don't see it. I don't see people, you know, they're just going to burn through this stuff like they always do. Because if you're a hardcore Destiny player, you're not going to get that much out of this stuff after you do it all. After a couple of weeks. They're even talking about raising year one exotics up to year two, which is fine. They should have just done that in the first place without me having to get it and then nerf it and then having the blueprint and then buy legendary marks to get it. And it's like, now you must have realized that that's not going to work, and you changed it. What? Green light is on. I've got the word from our sponsor. Hi, I'm back. Christopher Walken here. Today, I'm going to be drinking little Killian's, little beer in the throat. Wow, that's good. I hope you get it. Enjoy the gaming around the table. Back to you, Juice Man. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you stopping by as always. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. Bungie, really? Come on, man. You're better than this. Give us more. Do more for us over the course of... Don't just give us an update here and there. I almost feel like that the April update is just because we got to do something for them because we don't really have anything in the pipeline. I almost feel like maybe they love the game they worked on, but I think they're tired of working on it. It almost would not surprise me if they don't. They're just so they're so wrapped up in it they can't. I think they're just done. I think Bungie is burnt out on playing the game, and I mean developing the game, playing the game, and doing everything they have for this game. I really feel that way. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's how I feel. And I think I almost have that impression. It's like, okay, let's give them something. We got to do something. And that's almost the feel that I have. And I know that sounds oddball, but it's true. That's exactly how I feel. I think they're tired of it. And they're so much better than that. Come on, guys. It's your game. Destiny is your chair you worked so hard on. And I just feel like this piddly stuff, it's almost like you give up. You should never give up, Keep giving us what we love. If you give us content all the time and stop taking stuff away and all that stuff, and not just an April update. How about that every month an update that gives us more and more of what we love about the game? And we're just not getting it. We're burning through your content so quick because we're a dedicated fan base. I've been playing Destiny since day it came out. I bought it on 360 and paid for the 2 expansions. I got it on PS4 and paid for the 2 expansions and the Taken King. We're dedicated, man. Just give us something besides just the April update. And gamers, continue to support the game, but be vocal about it. Tell Bungie, say to them, look, damn it, give us more than what you're giving us. We can't just take a few, here's some new weapons and armor, and we're not satisfied. We need to be vocal about it. Get on the Bungie forums. They actually do listen. They do listen. And they actually love that feedback. Negative or positive, just do it. They do listen to what we have to say as gamers. And they know this. And they get a lot of feedback from us on that. And I think they will find that maybe they will, if we have a voice and tell them we will not support your game unless you give us stuff all the time, more and more to do, new areas of Mars or new areas of Earth to explore, add stuff, do your thing, and that's what we need to do as gamers. And for you three wonderful, wonderful people for subscribing to the Juice Man 3941 Gaming Roundtable, I just want to tell you again, you know what? I got my mug of beer, and this is cheers for you. I take a drink for you three. And a toast to you gamers that are enjoying my channel. This is Juice Man 3941. This was episode 13 of the Gaming Roundtable, the great April update debate. And that is what I am talking about. And I'm talking about Destiny and this April update, whether or not it is going to last, or is it just going to fizzle out after a couple of weeks, and we'll be wanting even more content and go back to our, we need to get some more stuff in this game, as we've been saying now, since we burned through the Taken King stuff. And that's basically what this is all about. And I am the Juice Man 3941. I will be bringing you episode 14, maybe in a little while, as a matter of fact. Anyway, and I want to leave you with this, as always, gamers. Good gaming.